Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Elite Edition Image Comics Founders line, Savage Dragon, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, as well as the man, the myth, the legend, Eric Larson. That's right, yesterday we looked at Shadowhawk by the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Valentino. Check that review out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Mr. Savage Dragon. And yes, before you ask, I have seen the cartoon. And yes, I know he's voiced by another man, myth, and legend, Jim Cummings. Voice acting, great. I don't need to say much else about him. That said, I can't say a lot about Savage Dragon because I don't know a lot about the character. I know he's a cop, I know he's got a partner that's a chick, and I think his main villain, his arch nemesis if you will, is named Overlord, and in the cartoon was voiced by Tony Jay. Where is that figure? I want that guy. But at any rate, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Savage Dragon has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with the collectible trading card, which I don't think it has a bio about him on the back, but one thing I also know is that he is known as a freak, not because he's green with a fin on his head, but because he's green with a fin on his head. Basically, in Savage Dragon world, or the world of Image Comics, freaks are the equivalent of mutants in the Marvel Universe, if that makes sense. At least that's what I'm able to gather from it. That said, as far as actual useful accessories go, he does come with a pair of grip hands, or trigger finger hands to be more specific, so he can hold these guns. He's got this one here, which actually looks like it was made for him, and this pistol, which doesn't really fit in his hand. I will show you. We have the left trigger finger. If I do this, he cannot fit his finger in the trigger, which is kind of stupid. You could push it like past it, and it's fine, but that looks kind of stupid, doesn't it? It's too small for his hand. But I guess it would work in a normal figure's hand. This, on the other hand, no pun intended, you can kind of shove it in there, and it looks fine. It's not perfect, but it is fine, and I could probably get that finger in the trigger if it was a little bit more separated from the rest of the hand. There. You can kind of get the tippy top of that finger in that trigger, but it's still like not great, but it's better than the pistol, I can tell you that much. So I'll probably display him with this gun only and a fist, just because the other gun just looks stupid in his hand. It doesn't really fit. Too bad he didn't just come with two of those. That said, we do have a pair of open hands, as well as a spare head with a moustache, and a pair of sunglasses that you can put either on this head which is kind of more or less what it was made for. It's a little easier to get on this head. Or you can put it on this head. It's a little trickier, but it can be done. And there you go. Now he can be all like, I had eggs for breakfast. Your mom had sausage. Setting him down. He also comes with the Image Comics Founders display base, which is just the kind of stone base there, as well as a big lump of cardboard with his picture on it. I think there's something else on the back too, but nothing crazy. Like, for 50 bucks, because I actually got mine from Walmart, thanks to Mr. Brian, aka the old man, aka my dad. He was out and about the other day, as the time I'm recording this, and he found this guy, so I saved money, but not exactly worth the 50 or 60 bucks for that matter. Not a lot in the box. Feel like we could have got another head and maybe a slightly bigger figure. I guess this guy's a little undersized, but we'll look more into that later. But as far as his articulation goes, his head can rotate side to side. This fin is good for grabbing onto and moving his head around. Can do all that good stuff. Of course, his upward movement is going to be hindered by that fin, but I don't know that going into it. Shoulders can go out, back down. They can rotate around. He's got that beautiful butterfly, really big rotator cap on that. Works okay. Bicep swivel works fine. Single jointed elbow, but it is pinless! So if you're into that, good for you. I'm not. I don't know how they were able to make this pinless. I don't know if this is some kind of antiquated friction hinge, but good on them, I guess. He can swivel and hinge at the wrist. At least I thought he could. And that one's a little looser. There you go. Torso. The upper torso is basically a swivel. Doesn't really do much anything. You can lean this far forward and this far back. I can lean back and forth a little bit with that. You can lean side to side. You can also rotate at the waist. His hips will kick forward, back, out, down. Thigh cut works fine. Diaper doesn't get too in the way. Double jointed knee. Nice and clicky. And then he does have a ball hinge at the foot, but I can get like one click up with it, and I can get it to rotate as well as pivot. And then he does have toe joints, which are not the tightest thing. And not for nothing, shouldn't he have like pumps or like Sketcher sneakers going on, not just black shoes? Shoes just look black to me. I think they're supposed to be like pumps. Are they pumps? I can't tell. But at any rate, putting his big old chunky arms down. That is Savage Dragon in a nutshell. I like him, but I gotta be honest, out of all of the Image Comics Founders figures, I think he's probably the weakest. I really liked Shadowhawk. I really like the Spawn. I like him too. I don't have the old Toy Biz one, but you know, it is nice to have a Savage Dragon figure. I do have the Toy Biz Super Patriot though, which is another Eric Larson character. Hopefully we'll get him at some point, because that Toy Biz one's going to be a little out of scale with the rest of these guys. Maybe not so much with Savage Dragon here, depending on how tall he is. Speaking of which, why don't we cut it here and move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here we have good old Savage Dragon alongside another figure from this Image Comics Founders line, Shadowhawk, who we did take a look at yesterday, and I will say, compared to him at least, Savage Dragon does seem a bit on the short side. I feel like they should be the same height, if not, Savage Dragon should be a little taller, right? That said, compared to Hellboy, who I busted out because I just finished watching the animated movie Blood and Iron, which is free on Tubi at the moment if you're interested. But, at any rate, The reason I got Hellboy here is because, if I'm not mistaken, these two have crossed over before. And, not for nothing, if anyone's going to be taller than good old Savage Dragon here, I think it would be Hellboy. I don't know about Spawn per se, but Hellboy, that makes sense to me. Getting these two out of the way. So we can make way for our two regulars. Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibolith. Who, by the way, I tried fixing the mace holding hand, or the club holding hand, and it didn't really work. I used a hairdryer, sat it overnight in the freezer, and it's still not the tightest thing ever. So I don't know how to fix that. That said, we also have the infamous 11 Spawn, who, gosh, Spawn is almost as tall as the top of Savage Dragon's fin. Now, I will say again, I think he should maybe be a little taller, but I don't know a lot about Savage Dragon, other than he was created by Eric Larson, so you have to help me out with that in the comments. But with that being said, I think it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and despite the fact that I am happy to own a Savage Dragon figure once again, I'm going to have to stand by my previous statement in saying that of the Image Comics Founders line, he's probably the weakest, Spawn being the strongest, mostly because he is Spawn, Shadowhawk being a close second because I actually feel that he was worth the price of admission, and he's still really freaking cool in his own right. While Savage Dragon is cool, I feel like he offers the least out of the three, and considering his popularity, I feel like we should have gotten just a bit more for the price. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.